Okay, it's 8:30. I'd like to call the July 11th, 2012 meeting of the Commissioners to order. First item is public comment. Yes.
Could I
Maureen.
just make a suggestion that because you were so far behind on the minutes that you maybe wait until the end of the meeting, since we have all these people that need to be seen, unless you think you can go right through them.
Okay. You're suggesting that we wait
I'm
to the end of the meeting to go
Yeah,
to...
because
okay.
you have how many months of minutes that you need to approve? And I mean, it just doesn't seem fair to make all these employees wait while you do that.
All right.
Just a suggestion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nobody's here yet, though.
Yes.
So last week we were talking about getting a second opinion from the lawyer regarding the
Yes.
investigation.
Yes.
How'd that come along?
I did get a call from the attorney on Monday, and she recommended that the investigation does not go public.
Did she say what would happen if you released it?
There's always a possibility of going to court. But that she said that because it was in confidence with those people that were interviewed, it wouldn't be fair to those that gave their
Testimony.
their opinion or what they had to say about it. It wouldn't be fair to them.
Well, how is it fair to Commissioner Kenny if the cloud's hanging over and we don't know if she'll ever be, absolved or found to be at fault?
Are you talking about the investigation report from Swatch?
Yes.
Yeah, it is attorney-client privilege.
Mhm.
That means it's for non-disclosure. It's not subjected under the 91A.
Right.
So it is confidential.
Anybody else? Yes, Mr. Albee?
Took advantage of watching GovernmentOversite.com for your last meeting. I've tried to avoid it, but I happened to see it. And Ms. Maloney had a question with regard to the Friends of Mountain View. And just to clarify what that organization does and why it's there, prior to the formation of the 501c3, donations to the county nursing home for the benefit of the residents was handled in a sort of an ad hoc manner. And what we did by forming the 501c3 was to make a tax deductible donation available. Prior to that, and there has never been a line item for monies to provide benefit for the residents. It has always been handled by the recreational department. So a number of things happened once we formed the 501c3. First of all, it took the management of that money away from the recreational department, which has plenty of other work to do. Secondly, it made available to the people who are donating money the ability to take that donation as a charitable contribution. And thirdly, it created another pool of volunteers. So when we had the car show, for instance, there was Maureen's husband was cooking and a friend of his was helping, or vice versa. I've worked the parking lot, parking cars. So there's a whole group of people now available to the recreational department for helping out in those things. The other thing that happens is that we're able to start to get larger donations. We've, as you know, given a $2,000 donation. We're given a $2,000 donation for the benefit of the staff at the nursing home, which we've passed on to you for the construction of the walking paths. There's also been some donations for the snoozling rooms, which we've started to buy the equipment for those, and that will start getting installed. So there's a lot of benefit. The undercurrent that somehow this is a beneficial to those of us who serve on the Friends of Mountain View board is sort of specious, and that all of the money that we raise goes to the benefit of the residents. We're not, although we've talked about taking a junket to Hawaii for a convention, but just we spend every single nickel on the residents, and it does enable us to gather larger donations. And I'm certainly hopeful that everybody involved will.
Could I ask you a question? How does members on that Friends of Mountain View get elected or get on the board?
It's all volunteer.
In order to get the 501c3 certificate, you didn't have to elaborate as to how members are selected on that committee?
Well, there's certain criteria, and that you need to be a resident of Carroll County, and you need to be able to sit and not have conflicts. But other than that, it's strictly a volunteer. We've got in our application, we put down the number of board members that we hope to have. We haven't gotten to that number yet. So we actually have discussed reducing the number or continuing to try to solicit membership on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Once the board's formed, then the board itself elects its officers.
Okay. Anybody have any more? Go ahead.
This
And
is,
the same subject or
oh
different?
no, this is totally a different one.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
In talking about the IT contract, I have a statement. I am remiss in stating that I wrote 2 ambulance contracts. In fact, what I did perform was writing the ambulance specifications within the contract after a committee was formed and new information was added. These new additions were added to the contract, as well as the entirety of the document was reviewed for content and corrections. After completing the newly revised contract, it was seen by the committee members, of which there were 3 fire chiefs there that do emergency services, to review, and a final copy on a disk from my home computer was sent to the town hall. The contract was again reviewed thoroughly, as I wish the new IT contract here was. In protecting items like HIPAA, personal information, and criminal information, I would have thought these would have been a priority to get the contract reviewed and looked through thoroughly ASAP. To have a contract come directly out of a committee meeting is much out of the ordinary. Again, I must state that the IT contract here appears to be a proposal, not a contract. And again, I'm wondering, has the person who wrote that contract or the committee, have they reviewed to see that HIPAA, personal information,
Yes.
and criminal, they have, and they've answered all the questions that I
Yes.
presented? And it's within the contract somewhere?
Yes.
Is there any chance I could get?
As soon as I finish reviewing it, yes.
Wonderful, thank you so much.
Did you get the questions answered?
I haven't.
No, I have not.
I haven't answered.
You haven't?
Yeah.
Okay. That's those, right?
Yes.
Okay. Questions have been answered, the ones that you had requested,
Mhm.
they have been answered. Anybody else for public input?
Well, do you want to do this while we're waiting?
Yes. We will look at last week's minutes. We had a public meeting last week as well as a non-public, so those are in order. We can pass those fairly quickly, I believe.
Well, let's do
Okay.
you want to do the, inasmuch as Commissioner Kenny was out last week, I took the minutes for the closed meeting, and I move that they be accepted and sealed.
I'll second the motion that they be accepted and sealed as far as the July 5th closed meeting or non-public meeting. All those in support of the motion by roll call, say aye.
You don't, they don't go. I
Roll
abstain.
call.
No, we don't need a roll call, we just approve it.
Okay. Then I will call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye. So approved. Those are the minutes of the non-public. You have the public.
Yes. Oh, there's my agenda. On last week's minutes, I have some corrections other than grammatical corrections. The grammatical corrections you can take care of as I corrected them. But there was something under Will DeWitt. He's talking about what's going on with the Farm Day. And interspersed with that is this comment, the CCR report, Consumer Confidence Report that goes out yearly for the Water Department was sent out. That is, it's put in the wrong place. Just put it at the end of his comments. Under Bob Murray, regarding the elevator contract, I believe that that the elevators that we have in the new building are Otis elevators, and the contract we're still on the maintenance contract with them, or the whatever that is, for the yearly the year that the first year. It's not Stanley Elevator. Stanley Elevator is the elevator contract we have for this building.
I think what he did was he got bids from Stanley,
Yes.
Otis, and
Yes.
whatever the other one was.
Yes, but it says here, the current contract with Stanley Elevator is expiring August 3rd. Now, that may be the contract expiring in this building, but has nothing to do with the contract that he is dealing with, or we are dealing with, regarding the nursing home.
We can
So that has to be
clean
cleared up.
that up when he comes?
Yes.
Okay.
And regarding, under Commissioner Sorensen, the annual report, Commissioner made a point of stating that the report was larger than usual because of the delegation minutes, not just, specifically delegation minutes. Under Sandy McKenzie's report, towards the end, Sandy is waiting on a call back regarding the VA contract, not the VNA. That's a different organization entirely.
Is that all your corrections?
Yes.
I just had one correction, and I think I gave that to you.
I have it.
Okay.
Yep.
It's subject to the funding of the delegation and not approval of the delegation, okay? I'll make a motion that we approve last week's minutes as corrected.
I'll second that.
Second it. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
And so voted.
Abstain.
Yep. Do you have any others?
You don't have the 3 sets of the non-public minutes, the one from last year.
Right.
I have a release, I make a motion to release the non-public minutes of April 25th, 2012.
You want to release these?
Yep.
I don't think those ought to be released.
It is my statement, and I took the legal consultation from the Hearst out.
What'd she say?
There's names involved in that.
I can retract the name.
She went, something about legal consultation.
We can't release this. We were just told we can't release this.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Yes,
Could the members of the board please speak up
okay.
for those of us that are hearing?
No, we
I
can't.
I think we ought to seek legal counsel on that one. All right, we're gonna hold the minutes until at the end from now on. Debbie, you wanna come up? We'll go into regular session now. Debbie, you wanna fill us in a little bit on the insurance that we negotiated and what you can on that?
Sure. As everyone knows, June is open enrollment month. This particular June was also the end of our contract. And Primex, our third-party administrator, had informed us that they would no longer be able to administer our plan. The insurance committee elected to go with Interlocal Trust as the new third-party administrator for the insurance programs, and I think that was a very wise decision. It was cost-effective for the county in a few different ways, not the least of which was the fact that in taking over from Primex, Interlocal Trust was able to do a personnel upload rather than having everybody individually put in, which saved a lot of money in manpower and supplies. The companies are working very, very well together. It's been a successful transition. Kirsten with Interlocal Trust made herself available on the 1st of July, just in case there were any issues that cropped up. My information when I got in on the 2nd of July was that there had been no issues with the upload at all. So everything transitioned smoothly, all of the contracts were signed, and everything is final.
And have any of the employees decided not to take health insurance as a result of the changeover?
No, not as a result of the changeover.
Have we had any additional people sign up?
We have had a few additional people sign up, both with the regular Harvard Pilgrim Health Plan and also with the flexible spending account, which seems to remain a popular offering. I do want to say, during the course of the month, I had an opportunity to speak with a lot of people, and they asked me to express their gratitude to the commission and the county for being willing to pick up the deductible again this year.
Okay.
I'd like to say I think that that idea that it must have been you because you were the only one there, of putting the table outside with all the information so that at any time that the people could come by, they could get the information without you necessarily having to be there. So that was a very good idea, and I thank you for that.
Thank you.
Do we have any questions regarding health insurance for the county? How long is that good for, the contract?
The contract is good for a year.
1 year at a time?
Yes.
Okay.
So we will revisit with them. There may be some slight changes in deductibles, and certainly we could probably expect some changes in prescription costs.
I don't know if you've got the information, but could you tell us the difference between the two as to why the committee selected that particular one? What the savings would be?
I don't know exactly what the savings would be,
Okay.
but I think the real selling point for the committee deciding to go with Interlocal Trust rather than Local Government Center was the fact that Local Government Center would not allow the county to fund the deductible at 100%
Okay.
in the same way that Interlocal Trust would.
Okay.
Regarding prescription costs, do those who are enrolled have the opportunity to do prescriptions through mail order?
They do. As a matter of fact, there's a flyer that went out quite some time ago letting everyone know that as far as mail-in prescriptions were concerned, Walgreens had been bought out by BioScript, and all of that information is also on the table that you noted earlier.
And well, it's a little early to know this or to find out this, but it would be advantageous for both the county and the clients, the people who are using the prescription drug plan, to have a statement on because you get a statement when you get a prescription through the mail. You get a bill.
Yes.
And on the bill, it would be very advantageous for everyone concerned that the entire cost of the medication be on there, and then the person who is getting the prescription could see how much is being paid for by insurance as opposed to what they would have had to pay in total. And that would,
Absolutely.
that would be a very good idea.
All
So
right.
people would appreciate what they actually get.
Sure. I don't know if that's on them currently, but I can certainly find out for you.
That would be a good idea. Thank you.
Sure.
Change of subject, the web page.
Yes.
How are we doing on that?
With regard to
Anything that's been added recently?
the most recent articles added to the webpage were, of course, the agenda for the Commissioners' meeting today, and also the
Minutes?
House of Corrections. Yes, there have been minutes added,
Okay.
both draft and final, as well as the jail subcommittee meeting scheduled for July 23rd. In addition to that, the Commissioner's email has been added, and anybody
Okay.
going to the website has the option of either copying and pasting the Commissioner's email that's listed, or hovering over the word Commissioners in the contact list and just clicking that, and it'll go directly to their email and create an email for them.
Okay. The commissioners 2 weeks ago decided that we would not accept any more county business on our own personal computer, that would go to a site here at the county. The site here at the county is only available to Kathy Armstrong and Kathy Gary. In case one, for example, Kathy Gary's going to be gone for the next 2 weeks, so we needed somebody else to handle that. Anything that comes in that's on a timely requirement, they will contact us by telephone and let us know. Three of us agreed to that, but Commissioner Kenny, have you changed your mind on that?
No, I want to, yeah. Well, I want to talk about it. The email is, Commissioner's email is coming in, it's going by the employees. Is that correct? It's going by
Say
the
that
2
again.
employees? The Commissioner's email, who
Yeah.
has access?
Kathy Gary and Kathy Armstrong.
They have access to all the emails. Okay.
Yeah.
You told now our legal counsel, attorney Liz Beatty, to send all the emails there.
Yeah.
She sent attorney client privilege confidential information to that email. And you know that the employees have access. So I don't know why you let her send it to them. Now it is all open. Now employee have confidential information, what should be only the attorney and the client, the 3 commissioners.
What's your,
And you know that. You know only that the employees have access. We don't have access. I asked, how can I access it? How can I get a password? Now I get from an employee in the office, forwarded to me, confidential attorney client privilege email from the attorney. And that is wrong. I think you did it purposely, and it is intentionally done. Because
No,
you
no.
know that commissioners have no access. I've been emailing nonstop, how do we have access, when do we have access? And then you told Liz Beatty to send all the emails there. That's wrong.
what would be your suggestion to correct it? How would you handle it?
That she cannot send attorney-client privilege emails, information to the employees. Because it's confidential, it's only for the commissioners.
So how would you handle it?
She doesn't send it there to the commissioner's email.
Where would she send it?
She sent it to our personal email then. She's then the only one, because we cannot release it anyway. Nobody can ask for it. It's not subjected under the right to know law anyway. So they cannot ask for that email.
Okay.
It's not altogether true.
Okay. Wait.
And
Point
now
well
I
taken.
have other questions from employees. They've been asking me what is that commissioner's email? Who's seen that? I said, I believe some employees. They say, but what if we have issues with those employees, or we want to bring up some issues only for the commissioners? And now I'm thinking, it goes also to the employees.
They could
And then
call us.
see, and then they see these things about this. Maybe the employees don't want that these two employees see their issues.
So you want
So what are we going to do with that issue then?
You want to continue then to receive emails?
No, I think
not
that we should
personal?
tell the people that only if they have general questions, it go to the commissioner's email because it comes in the office by the employees.
Okay.
If there are issues, they need to write us a letter, maybe a hard copy, or they need to call us.
Okay.
Because they cannot share their issues or their confidential information going to other employees here.
Okay. I agree with that. I agree with that. Do you have any comments on that?
I'm still thinking about it.
Still thinking about it? Yeah, I think you're right. I guess I didn't consider confidential information coming from an attorney, but you're right. And if people have issues, they may not want other employees to get it. So their alternative is to call us or write us. If they have a deadline or a date that has to be met, then they should be calling us with a follow-up with something in writing. Okay.
And we need to make the people aware. We need to make everyone aware. It's commissioner's email, but it is handled by 2 employees in the office, so that everyone knows where the emails are going.
Okay. That sounds reasonable. Okay. Anything else?
I do have one more thing.
Okay.
We received some communication from Interlocal Trust letting us know that they were making flu vaccines available to the county employees. There is a cost incurred for any employee that is not a member of the Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare Plan. That cost is $27 per
How much?
inoculation. $27 per vaccine.
$27 for a flu shot.
For a flu shot,
When
that's
they're
correct.
not a member of the
Of Harvard Pilgrim,
Harvard Pilgrim.
correct.
Okay.
I did check with Patty Kane over at the Mountain View community. The cost for vaccines through the Mountain View community is $8 per
Yeah, I
vaccine.
was just going to say that.
When I discussed figures with her, she was able to tell me that last year the nursing home administered 140 vaccines. Of those vaccines, only 52 were by employees who were insured. The remaining 88 were uninsured. When I calculate the cost of 88 vaccines at $27 each, it comes to a cost of $2,376 for the vaccines. It's far more cost effective for the county to remain with Mountain View Community rather than going through Interlocal Trust. And that is my
Okay.
recommendation for the flu vaccine program this year.
What about that shot for shingles?
I haven't heard anything about that yet, but I'll look
I
into that.
believe that probably has to be done in a doctor's, well, maybe they could do it at the hospital. It has to be refrigerated. I know the VA clinics, like Conway VA, will not administer a shingle shot because they don't have the facilities to keep it frozen or temperature-wise anyway. You have to go to the VA hospital. Other than going to local hospitals, that may be the only way to get a so-called shingle shot. Okay.
Are they prepared to offer flu shots again this year through the nursing home?
Nursing home.
They are. As a matter of fact, Lisa Howard has already pre-ordered for those inoculations based on the numbers from last year.
Okay.
And it's at least I believe that local pharmacies give the flu shot for $10.
I'm not sure what the cost is. I know the Rite Aid in Ossipee does,
Yeah.
and I believe there are a couple of others locally that do.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we have any quick questions of the assistant HR person? Go ahead, Mr. Babson, you first.
I have 2. Number 1, how does this insurance thing work? Did the insurance committee decide on the on who would they go to, and why didn't the